An introduction to systems thinking for the social services workforce. This is the first in a series of 3 animations about systems thinking. Along with our facilitation guide, we hope they help you to understand and use systems thinking approaches to improve outcomes for people who use the social services system. Systems thinking is helpful. If you're faced with a challenge that feels really complex or messy, where there are lots of different people or players involved who may have different perspectives, motivations and agendas, and there is no straight link between cause and effect, and where there are no simple solutions to fix a problem in your system, if you hear people saying things like, "We can't see the wood for the trees," "We keep changing structures and getting the same results," "We keep repeating the mistakes of the past," "Most of my day is spent battling the system," then systems thinking might just be for you. This process invites you to be curious about the system that you're involved with, its overall purpose and your part in meeting that purpose, and how collectively all the individual parts interact to create a whole system. If we think about the social services system, it's all about people and empowering the people who need a bit of extra support, their families and loved ones, communities and the workforce who support people to live their lives in ways that matter to them. All are stakeholders in the social services system. You are a stakeholder too, and this makes you part of the system. There are lots of other people, teams, organisations that are also part of it, and collectively make up a whole system and influence what outcomes people who use social services experience. Think about what you do that impacts upon others, and how what others do impact upon you. Because there are lots of different people, processes and parts that make up the whole social services system, we call this a complex system. A system is something that is quite specific, tangible, definable and discrete. Think for a moment about the human body. It has lots of smaller parts which work independently. However, all these parts enable the body to fully function as a whole, in which the parts are interacting to make it work. So the human body is also a complex system. From birth, the human body is continually evolving, adapting and changing. As change happens in one part of the body, it can have intended or unintended consequences in another part. This is the same for all systems. As someone working in the social services sector, you know that how you and your team works depends upon lots of other things besides your personal skill. This includes organisational processes, culture, leadership style, technology you have access to, local and national policies, and even the ways in which the funds are organised and distributed to and within your organisation. As systems are designed to achieve outcomes, if you want to change or get better outcomes for the people who use the social care system, then being curious about what is happening in different parts of the system and gathering different perspectives can help you to find out what needs to change and how you can best influence this change. How does your part of the system influence the whole system? How does the whole system enable the desired outcomes for people who use social care to be achieved? What constrains your system, and are those constraints perceived or real? A process of systemic inquiry will help you answer these and many more questions about your system, which, in turn, can help to improve outcomes for more people in your social care system. In the world of social services, we use lots of systematic approaches. These look at individual parts of a system, the rules, performance measures and controls. We evaluate and quality check how individual parts of a system are working, and we initiate projects or initiatives to attempt to fix things that are not working. In systems thinking, we also look at systemic approaches, which are concerned with how things within the whole system interact and affect each other, and consider things like organisational and team cultures, behaviours, emotions and more human aspects that affect how a whole system works. This can help you to understand how things happen in the way they do, how human behaviour influences what happens, and better understand the underlying structures that create patterns of behaviour. Once you have explored your system, gathered lots of different perspectives, and considered how the parts interact, then you might just find answers to complex or messy problems that you hadn't thought of before. So, to summarise, the social care system is a complex system with lots of stakeholders who influence how the system operates and the outcomes it achieves. The purpose of the social care system is to empower and enable people who need support. Systems thinking is a process of inquiry that can help you improve your understanding of your complex system and potentially achieve better outcomes for people who use social services. So, if you have a problem you're trying to solve and there are no straightforward solutions, then you may want to explore how systems thinking approaches may help.